We'll do a customs guide. How about it? We'll cover how to fight in dorms for those that want to go and hit marked rooms. You know, the way to bind smooth zoom to scroll wheel without changing walk speed and still be able to heal specific limbs. So I have my smooth zoom bound to right mouse button scroll wheel. That'll make it to where anytime I aim down sight and I want to zoom in and out, it's easy. I aim down sight, scroll wheel. You'd have to change your previous and next key because when you do that way, because if you don't, anytime you aim down sight and you scroll wheel, you're going to change your movement speed. And so aim down sight, zoom in, and then zoom out, and all of a sudden your character's gonna be walking slowly. That's not ideal. So previous and next, if you change it to control scroll wheel. So for next, control scroll wheel up, previous control scroll wheel down. That'll make it to where whenever you, great spawn force. But yeah, if you change your previous and next, it'll make it to where you, like when you have a bag on the ground, you see how it has search and take. You can scroll wheel between this. Oh, I have it on alt scroll wheel, not control. I have it on alt. Sorry, alt scroll wheel. But that'll also change up. You see on the bottom left the movement speed that's changing. That's where you can change that. The movement speed changing isn't like, I wish you could take it off keybind altogether without changing previous and next. But since you can't, I have it on alt. You're not really ever changing your movement speed to 75% or 50% or 25%. It's either all or nothing. You either want to hit caps and go completely dead silent or go at full speed. There's not really many scenarios where you're going to want to be in the middle. But having right mouse button and being able to scroll, it's nice. That is nice. All right. So we had God spawn, but just in case we didn't and we came up to clear dorms, we're going to crouch and scroll wheel up a little bit. You don't have to, but I like to just to throw off any veterans. If they're sitting there holding an angle, they're going to know, a lot of people would know where to peek on it. And so play this. You're going to peek this first corner, clear. Diagonal step. You don't full side step horizontally, you diagonal step. It puts you out 3 to 5, puts you out like 2 to 3 pixels instead of 3 to 5. A horizontal step would be around 3 to 5 pixels out. Then your next peak is down there, and then same pillar. So the first peak's right there, second peak's right there, third peak is into the hallway. So I guess fourth peak into the hallway. So first peak's there, second peak is there, third peak's there, fourth peak is into the hallway. Clear. You're gonna do one more, and then you're gonna push in. Right here, whenever you go to sprint in, one step, and then you're hip fire ready. Because people like to camp right here. They will literally sit here and wait for you to push in. And if you just come in sprinting, you're cleared. Okay, it's clear. You run in. There's a guy. You're dead. Right? And so what I'll end up doing is it's like a stutter step. And so you'll sprint in and check, and then you sprint in. So you sprint, stop, check, sprint in. Then this right here, you do another just jiggle peek. And whenever I do this, it'll be DWS. DWS. So you go out and you do S or W because you need to keep the momentum going. You want to keep it in a circle. If you just go D and A, you see how there's like that little bit of a pause. But if you keep it's awkward because it's in a doorway. But if you keep the momentum going, it's not as bad. And then you combo that with the side lean. So just real quick. And you're not even really trying to peek out to get a shot. You're peeking out to bait a shot. You're peeking out to see if you can get someone to shoot at you. And so you just go forward and look down hallway. Don't see anyone. Okay. You're gonna then push forward and be ready for hip fire here as well, because this is a great spot to camp. Anyone that's doing shooterborn, or not shooterborn, but setup and has to kill players with shotgun, this is probably the best spot to camp in the game. You got a peek down the hallway, you got to peek down this hallway, and you got to peek onto this staircase here that for setup it's phenomenal. You can sit right here with your buckshot and wait for people. But when you do this sprint down the hall, you can, if you're worried about there being a person, you do like a little stutter step, and you're basically pressing shift until your gun goes all the way down, and then you let go. And you're gonna do that little stutter step, and it will clear the ground faster than just walking normally. But you'll be hip fire ready, more likely be hip fire ready whenever someone would peek, right? Situational. There's nothing wrong with just full sending down this hallway. The only problem with that is that if someone does peek you, you're less likely to have your gun ready. But if you're going to do this full sprint down the hallway, you're going to sprint to right here, and then you're going to just turn the corner, and you don't even shoulder swap. Don't shoulder swap for hip fire. You're just peeking around this corner like that. And then you take this corner over, you're going to stop and sound whore. And you're listening, not hearing anything. Okay. So then you're going to do this corner peek. First one, you're looking at the staircase there, and there. Clear, right? Then you're going to go ahead and sprint across, looking down the hallway there, just in case someone was camping further back there and looking, but you sprint across. And so first floor here, this is what it's going to look like if it's not cut up a bunch with the descriptions. But push up, crouch scroll wheel up a couple times, jiggle peek the first one, diagonal step, jiggle peek down hallway, zoom in more, third clear, fourth clear. Okay, we're good. So scroll wheel all the way up to make sure you're not crouched anymore. Clear. Come in here, make sure no one's behind door. We're going to stop, regain stamina, sound horror. We don't hear anything. Do a quick jiggle peek just to re-clear. We're clear. Push down here. Be ready for someone in this corner. Don't see anyone, not hearing anything. We're going to stop, regain stamina, sound horror. We're then going to peek this corner here. Clear. Okay. Look down hallway, sprint across. We're now on sound. You're listening. You're not making any audio, and you're fully focused on your audio. Sound whore. You're listening intensely. Yeah. So yeah, you got first floor clear now. Now you need to be careful of the staircase. Right here, if you hear boss, if you hear Rashala, if you hear a bunch of AI shifting and stuff like that, and then one's on the staircase, don't try and fight boss from the staircase. Boss on the staircase, his guys will aimbot you, and they're very accurate, and they will shoot through the metal. Like it's such a difficult fight. They've got the right hand peek, you got the left hand peek. Don't try and fight the boss if they're on the staircase. But if you don't see anything there, you're gonna push up, and you're gonna be looking here and then up top, right? So you're gonna clear that doorway and then up top. Work here. You're gonna look behind. This spot right here is the next spot you clear, and then you're gonna look down left hallway. This is where I would shoulder swap. You just do a quick. You don't necessarily have to. You could do this, but like I personally would aim down sight and just do that little side step. Same thing you're doing, except opposite, I guess. AWD, and so you're stepping out, going forward, and then coming back. And while you do that, you're aimed on sight and you do your little side step. Clear that. The reason you want to clear the right side hallway instead of the left one first is because one, right side hallway is closer, left peek angles so that they can check, and two, you can use this guy to block some of the vision from the main peek angles that they would be camping. And so you're going to peek this hallway, and like even on a peek like this right here where I can see pretty much everywhere that someone would be camping, there's only one spot that someone would be sitting that can see my head, right? So it's, if I peek to clear this, every single spot over here can see my head. Every single spot someone would be sitting over here, they'd see me. When I do the other way, every single spot over here, only one can see me. But then other peek, you're looking here, then the pillar into the hallway, then the kitchen. The main two threats is going to be like this peek right here, which you can get, you're close to jiggle peek, and then you'll diagonal step, jiggle peek, diagonal step, jiggle peek, diagonal step, jiggle peek. And you don't have to do anything super fancy. You don't have to worry about doing the whole, like, I've tested it. I've seen what it is on the receiving end. I've seen what it is on the peekers end. Realistically, you can do all of these extra things with movement. It's going to help. It's going to help in the numbers game. Out of 1,000 raids, if you're doing that, you're going to survive a few more times because you did those moves. You can quite literally just do this peek right here. Not a full lean. You're not full leaning. That's a full lean. That's slow. You're doing a half lean, which is just like, that. On the receiving end, that looks pretty fast. It's not bad. The beta bag takes a lot of ergo. That's why I don't like rocking beta bags. I had one in my stash, but like that's fine. I'm not doing a full lean. That's the full lean. See how I can see like the full pillar? It's like I'm not even seeing the pillar there, but that little half lean is fine. Like that, like legitimately. Diagonal step, you're pressing W and D instead of A and D. So horizontal step, diagonal step, right? That horizontal step, if you were to full step, you're getting out, you're peeking that far out, right? A diagonal step moves it up. You see how there's that less, it's hard to, not the best example with the remote. I tried to find some horizontal thing or fully flat item. But essentially trigonometry, if you have the full flat thing and it's diagonal, you get that extra little bit right there, right? You get that percentage vectors or whatever. Yeah. And so basically you're going to want to diagonal step. You press WD. Now let's see, like that right there, right? Let me get on a right hand angle. Will probably be easier. A full right hand peek. Just look down the hole. Okay, so like on a full lean, we'll step out. We'll step aside. We can't see the door at all, right? I'm on a full lean, can't see the door. We're gonna WD. I can now see the door. We're gonna WD back, or well, AS, and yeah, that's it. Kind of awkward. Can't see the door. Diagonal step, can see the door. We're gonna step back into this roughly the same spot. Kind of hard. My back's up against this wall, so it's making the peaks really weird. It's not giving the full example. I need to find like a full flat wall. But for the most part, you'll get the point. If I were to press D, I step all the way out, right? If I press A, I'm back in cover. If I press diagonal, like it's a lot easier to get that pixel peak rather than the full peak. And a lot of people will just want to step out fully. I'm hella overexposed. If I do diagonal and then peek, it's better. So you diagonal step, you're 2 to 3 pixels over into the corner. If you horizontal step, you're 3 to 5 pixels over. And so by moving the scale just ever so slightly and re-peaking, you're going to be able to get that precision peak. But if you do the full step over, you're not. So again, we're going to come from the first floor, clear up top here. You clear this corner, clear up top, push around the corner. You look there and then up top. I wouldn't aim down sight there. Clear this, check there, and then up top because people will camp right there. Then you push around this corner, you look right here. You're not exposed anywhere down there. You're not exposed anywhere down there. That's clear. That corner's clear. All right, you're good on the staircase. Now we're going to check the left hall here. Just do a quick peek. Nothing. We're going to do the other hall. Quick peek into that. Quick peek into that. Quick peek down the hall. We're good. All right, nothing. Now we're going to check this corner again. Whenever you push up the staircase, the goal is to clear this spot right here without over peaking hardcore. And so you can basically like do this right here, and you're going to work from this corner up the staircase to right here. So clear. People will sit right up top there. And that right there is exactly how you want to go about clearing it. It's just you peek up and out, and boom, you would have seen them. If they're not there, you're going to walk with your back against the wall here, and you're mainly looking here and then here. Those are the next 2 spots you want to clear. People will sit behind this bookshelf and off the pillar. A sexy spot that people will sit is right here, and they prone. And they'll sit prone and wait for you to come up the staircase. So when you push up, you're clearing corner, top, bookshelf, pillar. Then when you push up here, you're hug this railing and you're going to push into this corner. Boom. Because people will open this door and they'll camp it. And they'll sit here and wait for you to push up top. And so as you go up to clear, follow the railing and you cut right because you need to clear this pillar off to the left side of it. Can't see it from down low, right? I see. Like you can for a small second. But whenever you push up top here, you want to keep moving fast and you're clearing the bookshelf and that pillar. You're not going to be able to see the left side of the pillar, which is where I would be peeking from. If I'm holding this, no joke, I sit right here. I sit right here and I will have this angle. And then as soon as you walk up top of the stairs, I'm going to peek out, walk out, and I'm going to pre-fire your ass. But you clear that, you clear the pillar, you're going to walk over here and you're going to walk against that all while focusing on this spot. So you push up and boom. You don't even look at this door. You're trying to block vision. The goal is you're moving through, clearing out the common camp spots one at a time. And so back against the railing, clear this. And then clear that. Now you're good to clear down the hallways. You're going to sprint across looking right. Sprint across looking right. You can do it left. Yeah, Gold. Appreciate you, bro. You can do it down this hall. I like clearing out this right side. It's a shorter hallway, easier to clear. The places they're going to be camping is in the bathroom, likely. They might be at the end of the hallway there, but the bathroom's more than likely where they're going to be. So you sprint across, Don't see anyone. Sprint back across. Didn't really see anyone. But the main areas you're wanting to look when you peek down this hallway is this doorway, that marked room, and that bathroom area. Like that bathroom and then the kitchen, right? But several spots you're needing to look when you're looking down the hallway, and it can be kind of difficult to spot someone. The biggest threat is in the entire game, in my opinion, the easiest spot to defend is that hallway right there. It has an out to the roof. It's a long, narrow hallway, and it's a right-hand peek. It's phenomenal for defense. Now, on the offensive side, it's difficult to assault because you're playing off of not hard cover. You can shoot through this. The bullet hit the ground. You can shoot through this. They're playing off hard cover. You cannot shoot through that cement wall. And so, or well, whatever this is made out of. And so instead, let's say you run across and you do see someone. By the way, this is a live raid. I don't know where the players are. I'm surprised no one's came to dorms yet. But you sprint across, and let's say you do see someone camping down at marked room. I need to get the lineup a little bit better for this, because now that I'm not resetting this account and I will always be max strength on this account, I could get a perfect one. But if you're not max strength, and a lot of people won't be, basically you'll position yourself on the green line here, and you can't, even if you're leaning, you can't be seen by the guy down the hallway. He won't see any of you, so he won't know you're doing this. Aim at this guy, pull out the grenade, throw it. If you are max strength, your guy fucking line drives the shit out of it. This right here, you aim right here, pull out the grenade, throw it. It hit the wall. Try this again. I need to get this exact lineup. I had it for whenever I wasn't max strength. As soon as your guy gets like 40 plus strength, he starts throwing grenades so hard. But we'll aim a little bit lower just because it ended up getting blocked. Got blocked again. It's getting blocked by that guy, so I probably need to aim a little bit higher. I don't think it went. I should do this example whenever I am not on my main account. But the goal is to get that grenade. It'll work all the same. But with that lineup, if you're not max strength, try it. With that lineup, it'll basically, you aim at that, and it will go and end up bouncing down the wall and hit that the oven and stop right there, and it'll explode right there. And that's the hallway that they're on. That person that's peeking this is likely going to see you throw the grenade, and they're going to run out to the roof. And that's when you're going to take over the peak, and you're going to sit here and you're going to hold the angle, because they're going to have a hard time lining back up that shot, and you're going to be sitting here waiting for when they do. So the second they come back to peak, you pull the trigger and kill them. I need another grenade so I can showcase this all the way. But yeah, that lineup, just basically get on this green line, middle of the room, and aim at that, pull out the grenade, throw it. If he isn't re-peeking and you're wanting to clear the ground, you can pull out a grenade, and if you have an M67 or an F1 grenade, do not do it with a VOG. If you have an M67 or an F1 grenade, you just aim at that and pull out the grenade, throw it, and as soon as you throw it, you go running. You follow behind it, and then dip into this side room or dip into the kitchen. And then, because as soon as you throw the grenade, the person peeking is going to see it or hear it and then back up. Especially if it's the second grenade down the hallway. They're going to back up into the hallway, and that's going to give you a chance to follow behind it. So as soon as you throw that grenade, you run right after it. And I wish I had a grenade to showcase it. But basically, throw the grenade, follow after it, dip into the side room, boom, explosion. Previously, before they nerfed it, you used to be able to just full send out this window. For whatever reason, BSG didn't like that, and they made it to where you can't get through this window anymore. I don't know why, but yeah, they made it to where you can't get through that window, which fucking sucks. Because it used to be the case where you'd throw the grenade, you go running. If it's an F1 grenade, you jump, boom, explosion happens, and you're landing at that same time. It was like perfect timing to where the explosion happened. You'd be hitting the ground, and you're not making any of that extra noise. And this person would be peeking. Oh, he throws a grenade, backs it up, and he's waiting here, he's waiting here, he's waiting here. Grenade explodes, he pushes forward, and you're landing on the roof when he's pushing forward. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I made that play. I'm talking hundreds of times. I made that play, and the person would be peeking this angle, and I'd be out on the roof. I'd sneak up behind him. Like, I hit you not. This peek right here, and instead of going into this side room, I personally would go into the kitchen because that gives you a right-hand peek onto his right-hand peek instead of this hallway, because then you're having to go into a left-hand peek out of a narrow doorway. If you do push into this side room, then basically just run straight across into here. Oops, step too close to the fire. Kind of scared me. Sprint straight across. That's risky, though, because if he does make it back into the cover, that's a lot. Like, look how long that is of a run when he can see us. Right, that's, you know, at least a second and a half that he's going to be able to shoot you. But on the receiving end, it looks so much faster than what that was. Like, when someone sprints across, it's so much faster than that right there. But we want to push forward. You're going to then clear here. And then you need to clear in here. Up on the bed, a lot of times people will sit here and they will wait for someone to go unlock the door. And the second they go to unlock the door, boom, they're going to peek out and kill you. And then you're going to check behind here, behind this door. And so you'll check in here. And also another one is whenever you clear this angle. So you go to clear here and you check this. Boom. And if you're going to do the same with this one, put your butt against this door and walk across this way. You don't want to be too close, because if they come to peek out at the same time, getting barrel stuffed is very awkward. Whenever you're too close to your opponent, your gun gets jammed to the side and you can't shoot straight, right? So whenever you push up and peek back here, it gives you that little bit of leeway to where you're not going to get barrel stuffed. But yeah, that's dorms, and yeah, crazy amount of hours went into learning all of those peek angles, and tens of thousands of fights inside dorms, no exaggeration, tens of thousands of fights inside dorms to learn where people like to camp and how to combat each spot. Trial and error over and over and over and over again. Well, there's more guns in Marked Room. We had one case and or two cases, I guess. And a lab's entrance card. That's not bad. But not great. Save cars up. All right, start up. Another play you can make is if you are holding this defensive angle and someone does push up and throws a grenade down the hallway to force you off the angle, instead of coming back and re-peeking that, you step back into it, and you need to get past this guy right here, but step back into it and aim at that doorway a little above it and throw a grenade back. And so you're going to put a grenade back down the hallway. That's going to force them off the peak, and then that's when you can reclaim your peak. If you need to disengage out, you can run and jump, and you full send to the left side of that tree, and you full send right there. Reason being is if they come out here trying to follow, they're going to have a hard time peeking over and seeing down low. You could do it there too. Basically, you want to get behind one of these bigger trees that will allow you to sit down there and heal. You're not going to try and take off running. You're going to sit behind one of the trees, one of the bushes that will make it hard to see you whenever they go to peek. They'd go to the roof, try and follow behind you, and you jump off and you turn around and you're aiming down sight, waiting for them to peek. Because whenever they go to peek, their silhouette is going to be against a blue background. So much easier to see. So much easier to see. What your background's going to be is green and behind shrubbery, and then with shrubbery behind you, and it's much more difficult for their eyes to spot you and their brain to immediately lock onto you and shoot you. Whereas your brain is gonna stick out like a sore thumb, So yeah, you're basically just trying to conceal yourself down there. If you want to make a fun play, you can pre-paint if there's a team down there at the end of the hallway. M67s are the best because it gives you the most time. You get 5 seconds. But if there's a team in the hallway here and you're like, damn, I can't get to them. I want to fight them. You can't run down this hallway without them peeking you and fucking you up. They can't run down this hallway without you peeking and fucking them up. So it's a stalemate. If you want to be the aggressor in that situation, you pull out your M67, you throw it, you pre-paint, and you're going to be, or well, you pre-paint and then throw it, and you're going to run out here. You get a nice running start. That way you can line it up, because you're going to need to run on this guy, and you're going to jump into the drain. That's what you're aiming for. So you're gonna run out and push forward and then jump into the drain. Ah, I missed it. You're trying to land on this guy so you don't break your legs. Try one more time just to show that I have it in me still. Just to show that I have it in me still. Or maybe I am washed. We'll see. Here we go. Thankful. So you hit that metal sound, but it's... dude, it's not nearly as loud as 4 or 5 footsteps running up that metal. All right, let me grab my bag and get out. Can you still get to the roof from the second story elbow bathroom? No. You were never able to do that. You can get to the second story bathroom from the roof. They made it really awkward with inertia to do this drop. But the goal was to try and drop. This used to be such a fun play, dude. They really f***ed with the movement enough to where like a lot of these plays aren't as much of an option. But you basically will diagonal step to slowly slip off the edge here. And the second you do, you're going to step back into the window. Yeah, see? The awkward... Yep. And that's the problem is it's a guaranteed leg break. And I don't have a splint now. But you used to be able to drop into that window. And there's another 2 windows on the backside. One of which you'd have to break glass for. But yeah, those were fun plays, dude. I miss the dorms fights. Yeah, see how on the exfils car extract's not up anymore? Car can still spawn. You can still take car. It just isn't going to show. So you can't sit there and tell if someone's taking it via it turning green. Makes too much sense since you do it when it's like... Yeah, I mean, you should be able to just select it through Ragman, but that is unfortunately not the case anymore. Or, yeah. The clothes they added in... The clothes they added in from Arena and like the events and stuff like that, you have to do from the drop-down menu in your overall tab. The ones that you buy in-game with your in-game currency, not real-world money, you can select through Ragman. They should all be in Ragman. That way you can visually see which one you're selecting, and it's a larger drop-down menu. When you have a bunch of different skins and your overall tab, when you go to select them in your overall tab, you can only see like 4 or 5 at a time. And trying to scroll through those 4 or 5 at a time is really awkward. Yeah, they really should swap that back to seeing everything in Ragman. Performance is on point in this patch. Yeah, no, they did a good job with this patch. They did a good job with this patch. I'm surprised. Pleasantly surprised with the quality of the patch. What's the new clothing called? Veteran. Veteran.